Thank you for tuning in to this video in our series about issues related to COVID-19 virus in Vermont. Today, I have Mohammed Jafar with me. He is a New American leader in Burlington, Vermont, and is co-creator of the website www.newamericansinvermont.com. That website is there to help new Americans during the COVID-19 pandemic, and we're going to talk with him about the experience of new Americans during this coronavirus crisis, the resources that are available to members of the new American community, and how we can all come together to help this community, especially with language barriers or economic challenges, as we're all struggling to help all of our neighbors. So, Mohammed, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here. So thank you for having me.
To begin with, maybe give some examples of how the new American communities in the state are experiencing the coronavirus maybe differently than others.
Well, the main difference, I mean, as we already know, is just access to that information. And sometimes that access is actually also limited by cultural barriers, not just language, but culture in itself can sometimes be a barrier. One conversation I had with one family, they were explaining that they felt like it was almost punishment that this was going on, and that they felt they had to stay in the house, pretty much, specifically talking about the social distancing. So in general, it is just the access that people have to the information, I think, is the biggest barrier.
Did they feel like they were being told to stay inside when other people weren't, or just that issue alone felt like something that was unique for them?
The issue alone seemed unique. I don't think that they're taking it as we are personally being told to not go anywhere, but I think that just the response, this type of a response to a pandemic or to any sort of a sickness or illness in itself is really, really new to people. And making decisions and doing things in an attempt to actually keep others safe and be safe for everyone is also a weird space to be in, because you really have to monitor what you're doing in order to keep everyone safe, not just yourself.
You've recently co-created the website newamericansinvermont.com. It's specifically designed to help new American communities during the crisis. Can you walk us through the thought process behind making the website and what it does? And actually, I'm curious if you're getting interest from around the country about it, even though it says in Vermont. Are other communities around the country doing the same thing?
First and foremost, I'd like to give credit to Melissa, who has been a champion in actually getting the design of the website up. I don't have much experience in actual design of websites, and she was incredible and jumped right in with me. In terms of the process and the thought process behind the website, my intent and my hope with the website is actually beyond just the COVID-19 pandemic that we're dealing with right now. My hope with it is for it to be a one-stop shop for folks, new Americans in Vermont, to get all the information that they could possibly need, whether it's help with legal questions, or to find food, or applying for unemployment, whatever it may be. My hope is that this is actually a website that will continue to serve these communities in all the ways that I hope that it does. I have reached out, in creating the website and getting the resources for the website, it has been a coalition of teachers from Essex, Colchester, all types of, all these different schools in all these different areas. We've got, translators translating these documents, and they're not professional translators. They're folks in the community that are here to, kind of give that helping hand. We've gotten some resources from folks in Maine, Lewiston, Maine, communities there that have done a similar thing, where they've kind of put together a space, a single stop for folks to get all the information that they need. So we've actually collaborated with folks across the country to kind of see how well we can help folks. And the reality is that not everyone is tech savvy, so not everyone is even able to access the website. So we've had to get creative even with the website and what we put up there to make sure that folks can extract and take different things such as videos and actually embed them into text messages and send them out to folks.
Beyond the website, what other resources would you suggest that people should know about and share with their friends and family members who might not be as either technologically savvy or fluent, might not be fluent in English, might not even have technological capacity, whether it's living in a home that doesn't have broadband or a connection to be able to use technology? What are some of the other techniques you're using to reach people and to help them with this information?
I've identified a list of folks within the community that are, they have their feet on the ground. They know the community members. Some of them are liaisons that have already been working with these families. Some of them are folks like me who are just young and upcoming leaders who are looking to help the communities that have helped them, honestly, in a lot of ways. And so I've kind of put together this list of folks that I trust and am confident would be willing and able to get that word out. And so I want folks to know that my intent is that at some point I'll have a list of names on that website, and you'll click Somali and you'll have a list of Somali speakers and Somali community members that you can rely on to get information to you, even if it may not be right then and there. Another thing I want to mention is that the city of Burlington and CEDO actually has a crisis response team that they recently created, and I'm specifically on the committee for the language access. So I want people to know that there are, the city is doing that as well, and there are resources that they're using, and folks can call in and ask for certain things and ask about certain things, and then they can get channeled to wherever they need. Other than that, for those of us that may not be technologically savvy, the videos are an incredible thing that we can use. You just click on them and you watch them, and they've been really, really helpful in reaching folks. I know my mom has a WhatsApp group in which she has all of her friends, and they're like 50 of them. So, when when we had the first string of videos going out, I sent her the video, and she was able to send it to many people who were then able to share it with other people. So it's still a little bit of a basic technology still involved in that. But for those of us that may not be able to navigate a website, there are other ways that you can access that information. And you can always call me, and even if I don't have the answer, I will find out. I also would like to note that we do have an email attached to the website, and any inquiries, even if they're in Somali, if you have to ask me a question in Somali, do it. Send the email. We'll find someone to translate it for me. If it's in Burundi and I don't know, we'll find out. But yeah, that is my phone number, 802-355-8961. I am more than willing and happy to, at the very least, send people in the right direction if I may not have the answer myself.
If others who are not members of the New American community are looking for ways to help members of the New American community, what is it that other Vermonters can do specifically to help? Or is it through this website specifically they can find ways to help? Are there other resources for ways for folks to reach out if need be?
And I think a lot of folks are already doing exactly what I would hope that they would do, which is being there for their community members and their neighbors, and asking what folks need. Sometimes people need some food. And there are a lot of people that are going around and delivering food to folks. The website is a great way for folks to really help. Any resource that you can share with us that we can put up on the website would be tremendous help. Funding the website is another thing. My hope is that it'll be a resource for many, many years to come. And my hope is that we'll be able to expand the amount of information that we can put up there and what we can put up there, so that folks really genuinely do have a one-stop shop. And even if you're wondering, who to reach out to in order to reach the Burlington School District, whatever it might be, I really do want folks to be able to rely on the website as a main resource. And I think in having a lot of this material translated in all of these languages, that doesn't necessarily mean we reach everyone, because the reality is that the folks that are able to read in these languages tend to be the most educated of the community members. So you're not always reaching everyone by having everything translated. That's not always the case. And so my hope is that we will become versatile in the way we put this information up on the website as well, so that truly anyone can access it. For those of us that speak sign languages, we should be able to access it as well. So that's my hope.
Is there anything else I should have asked or that you want to mention and add?
I think that this website comes at a very crucial time, but I just want to remind people that people really are in these positions and in these states. Even without a pandemic, there are a lot of people that were dealing with these concerns and these things before the pandemic happened. And while we did create this website just as this started to happen, it's really important to highlight that this website can be really useful. And the things that community members are doing in delivering food and helping neighbors are still needed after this pandemic. So once we're done with this pandemic, I just want to remind people that it's still important to be a community. I think right now there's a lot of stuff happening in terms of everyone coming together, my hope and my ask is that everyone continues that after everything is over with this pandemic as well. I really hope that people coming together isn't really about just the tragedies, and it's about the times when we need each other.
If someone wanted to help fund the website or some of the efforts to help folks in the New American community continue to grow into their community and their life here, what are some of those places they could donate?
I believe we might already, but if we do not have a donate tab, we'll throw on a donate tab to the website, and that would be incredibly helpful. You can always email the group as well and ask us where a check should be sent out, and we'll provide that information as well. Literally any assistance that we could get. In terms of funding for this website, I think anything will help, but I really do think that this website will be very, very valuable. And so I hope that others in the community also feel that sentiment as well.
Well, thank you for being with me today, Mohammed. To our viewers, if you would like more information about COVID-19 in Vermont, you can visit the website we've been talking about, newamericansinvermont.com. The Vermont Department of Health website also has a lot of information at healthvermont.gov. You can always visit my campaign website at zuckerman4vt.com as well for other COVID-19 resources, and reach out if you can't find something. We'd be happy to help. I'm Lieutenant Governor David Zuckerman. This was one of many conversations that I'll be having with experts and community members during this coronavirus pandemic, and how we can all help each other get through these challenging times together. So thank you, Mohammed, and thank you folks for watching.